On Nutella. You know what's better than Nutella? Nutella Cream Liqueur. That's right. And I'm making it homemade and I'm going to walk you through it. It is the most delicious thing on the face of the earth, all right? It's fairly easy to make. You just need all the right prime ingredients, which of course is a big jar of Nutella. I'm going to actually triple my I'm going to triple my recipe today because I'm making them as gifts for my family. Yeah, look at that. They're all going to get their little take-home bottle of cream liqueur. All right, I'm going to show you how to make it. It's real easy. Okay, here are your basic ingredients. I like to get grain alcohol. You can also use vodka. I buy a bottle of that. You need heavy whipping cream. I'm making a triple batch, so depending on what you're making in size, you can go with smaller. I like to use whole milk and a nice big jar of Nutella. You'll need a measuring cup, probably a spatula. And if you are pouring them into little gift bottles like I am, of course, a funnel. Or you could just recycle one of your bottles of liquor that's empty. Okay, I'm getting ready to mix the ingredients. The formula is pretty easy. It's equal parts of your cream. I like to use heavy cream. You could use light cream too. And equal parts of milk. And then the equal parts of the Nutella. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put it into a pot and melt down the Nutella and make sure it's all smooth and creamy. Now, what I wanted to mention was the way to work your recipe backwards is that the ratio is 2 parts of your creams and the Nutella to 1 part of your alcohol, whether you use vodka or the grain. Since I want to use my whole bottle up here, there's about 3 cups in this, 750 milliliters. So working backwards, that means it's going to be 6 cups each of the other liquids, okay? Okay, here we are. I had to transfer all my liquid into a larger pot. I normally don't make such a large batch, so always best to go to a larger pot. Anyhow, what we're doing now, it's on a slow flame, and you are slowly going to melt the Nutella into the cream. As you can see, I have a big whisk. Nice and slow, make sure nothing burns, slow flame. Okay, I don't know about you, but Nutella was like such a treat for us growing up. As a matter of fact, the whole story of Nutella started with World War II. And my mom was she was a war child. War child meaning she grew up during World War II. It was difficult times. As a little kid, I think she had to repeat 5th grade like 3 times because of all the bombing and stuff like that. But Nutella wasn't called Nutella back then. It was Giandua. Giandua was created by this confectioner. His name was Ferrero. You know the candies or the chocolates that you see now, Ferrero? Yeah, he was the guy who made the original inside part, which is called the Giandua. It's this thick, very thick hazelnut chocolatey kind of I don't even want to say filling. It's just thick and delicious. Anyhow, since there was a big cocoa shortage during that time in Italy, he found a way of mixing the cocoa with the Giandua, whoever this was, and they made bricks of it. Yeah, it was like almost like chocolate hazelnut bricks. It was made with sugar and hazelnuts and a little bit of cocoa. And this would be sent off. It was easy to keep in the field, and they would do slices of it and like put it on bread and eat it. So eventually, after the war, was turned into a delicious, they lengthened it a little bit and made it more of a spread, like a cream. In fact, I think it was called like crema something. And in 1964, that's when kind of Nutella came out on the market. Now, we were here in America at the time, and it wasn't available in America. And I was like, 10-year-old little kid. And our family, we have family members that occasionally would go to Italy to visit relatives and all. And they would come back with a suitcase full of stuff. What they would do is they would bring their clothes over and leave all their clothes there because, our family, they're still struggling over there in Italy. So they would leave all their clothes and then they would come home with all this food and things and little trinkets and gifts. And at that time, my grandmother brought back Nutella. Oh my God. It was like the best gift in the whole world. And they were little jars. They were in like little glass jars at the time with a lid that almost like snapped on and off. And getting one of those was like a treasure. And I remember my mother, give it to my mother. And then we would watch where she would put it because she would hide it. Every day she would have to put it in a different location because, we would find it. But I just remember finding it was like on the top shelf in the kitchen. And I would sneak up, stand on the chair, right? Get the jar out, and with a spoon, I would just scoop out one little spoonful. And then I would take the spoon and I would try to flatten out the top so nobody knew that I went in and stole the little Nutella. And one day I went up there to take a spoonful, and holy cow, it was almost gone. You could see the bottom of the glass. I'm like, oh no, am I in trouble or what? But wow, so years later, finally, the Nutella people, I think they started manufacturing out of the country, and then it was imported into the United States. And God, it was like a holiday that we have now our own jars of Nutella, honestly. You see it, and like no jar, you never throw away a jar like this. I mean, you never throw away a jar that still has all this inside, because one lucky person gets to clean it out, right? Clean it out. Okay, this is almost done, actually. You don't really want to let it boil or anything like that. And then the next step is going to be to add the the good stuff, the Everclear, or I should say grain alcohol. Okay, it's cooled down. All right, you got to let it cool down. And then now I'm ready to add the kicker, which is the grain alcohol. You can also use vodka. Anyhow, since I've tripled my formula, I'm going to be putting 3 cups, which is about the whole bottle. There's 3.17 cups in a whole bottle here for us Americans. In Europe, this is 750 milliliters. It's about, if you're tripling your recipe, you would put the whole bottle in. If you're doing just a single version of it, you would put 1 cup. All right, so here it goes. I don't know, can you see it? Ooh, it does lighten it up a bit. Oy vey, there we go. All right. I almost am envisioning this to go up in flames. Oh, here we go. Oh boy, it is creamy, just right, like you do a little shot. You can put a little shot glass, and maybe you want to do the rim with the shot glass. What you do is you just maybe do a little bit of dip of the Nutella around the rim. And if you really want to go crazy, you can do some toasted chopped walnuts and dip the Nutella rim in the nuts first and then fill it up. All right, you ready? Now what I'm doing here, instead of, you could actually put it right back in the bottle here if you're making a single serving. Actually, you'll need a few of those bottles, right? But what I'm doing is I am making Christmas gifts for my family. They're all going to be getting a little bottle for themselves. Maybe, they can maybe have it for New Year's Eve or something. But it's important to have a good funnel, just like that, as that you can see, to make it easier. And I'm using the ladle that I normally ladle my tomato sauce from, but today, whoops, here we go. Oh boy. One. Let's see how much is in here. Ooh, hey, that's a decent amount. They're going to be getting quite a few shots. Okay, now here's the most important part. The taste test, right? I don't have a little shot glass, so I'm going to have to use a larger glass. Okay, let's see. Just put a little bit in. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. It is absolutely perfect. It's really, really wonderful. All right, listen. If you enjoyed this video, I would really be honored if you liked it, and even more, subscribe to my channel, okay? It's free and it'll help me. Salud. There's no one home.